It doesn't get any better than this as two Sharks prospects absolutely light it up in the finals of the OHL, getting the win with Sam Dickinson putting up a historic defenseman performance and Kasper Halttunen putting up 8 goals in 8 periods. Mike Grier is smiling ear to ear, you know it. The Sharks are looking to be unbelievable with even, again, a guy like Halttunen who was pretty quiet throughout most of this season, showing up when it matters most. We got to dive into Halttunen, Dickinson, the OHL championship, and the implications this all has on the Sharks going forward. All that coming up in this episode of Sharks Digest. But just a quick reminder, guys, we're on that road to 2,000 subscribers. You guys have been supporting like crazy, and we'd love to hit that goal by the end of May. It's only 2 weeks, but hey, if you're enjoying the content here, hit the free button down below. We'll keep you up to date on all the great things like this. And Mark, we got to dive into this here. Thrown defended. Congrats to Sharks prospects Kasper Halttunen and Sam Dickinson on back-to-back OHL championships. Safe to say the London Knights are just always a wagon. I mean, look, it's just what they're going to do. And, you know, I want to talk about Halttunen in a bit because I think he's very interesting. And just one of these guys, like, look, he had a good season, but the playoffs were something else. Talk about him a bit later, Mark. But why not start with Sam Dickinson? I mean, we've been talking about him all year. 91 points in 55 games this year with 29 goals. I thought his draft year was crazy for a 6'3", 210 defenseman who's solid on offense and defense. 70 points in 68 games is nuts as it is, but to come out and get 91 points in 55 games, 31 points in 17 playoff games for the London Knights. I mean, how hyped are you to see Sam Dickinson join this unbelievable decor on the Sharks very soon? Because I don't know if, we have so many prospects, it's hard to pick a favorite at this point.
I mean, the big thing with Dickinson, this is video game numbers. You're looking at his stats from the regular season into the playoffs. He performs at every level. Seeing him move into pro hockey in the AHL or the NHL next season is going to be breathtaking, Josh. This is the guy that I expect to come into training camp, fight for a position. I mean, looking at the left side, is there one of these guys that you would play over Dickinson? Because in my opinion, no, you got to put this guy into the lineup. This is a young Sharks team. You're bringing in probably one of, if not the top defensive prospects in the NHL. Dickinson is going to change everything. And listen, fans, we know we want Schaefer on this team, but we have Schaefer at home. We have Sam Dickinson that can step into this lineup, make an impact, and just the future of Dickinson on this defensive pair, and Josh, is going to be crazy to witness. And honestly, I cannot wait for it.
No, look, I mean, why not both? Again, I'm still hoping Schaefer slips to number 2 by some miracle. It's looking like he's going to go number 1, but we don't know yet. You never know until draft night. Trades can happen. Teams can change their minds. Certain guys can rise up, but look, regardless, Sam Dickinson coming into that left side very, very soon. And look, I know Ferraro, look, he's heading into the end of his contract. He'll be gone maybe this year. We don't know. I like Ferraro. I wouldn't mind seeing him stick around, but like Henry Thrawn, Vlasic, is coming up on the end of his career. There's a lot of question marks here on that left side, but that was always the sort of weak point with the Sharks. Now we do have some other guys here, like of course Shakir Mukhamadullin, who is signing that extension as reported, so he'll be around for a little bit longer at least. So he's a nice guy who can slot in on that third pairing right now. But Marcus, you look at this decor, like it's just looking better and better for the future. And there's even guys down in the AHL. I mean, one guy I want to bring up, of course, is Luca Cagnoni, who has been unbelievable. Don't forget, he was second on the San Jose Barracuda in point scoring as a defenseman. 36 assists, 16 goals in 64 games. Mark, I know defense has been like one of these things that we've talked about a lot in terms of young prospects, because of course you look at the forward group and it's like, wow, just young guy after young guy after young guy. But when you look at that decor, it's been like, okay, maybe there could be some room to grow here. With Cagnoni's unbelievable performance this year, Dickinson having the kind of tournament he has, and Cagnoni, I mean, look, I don't know if he's going to project to be some kind of star in the NHL, but I've liked what I've seen. I feel like it's maybe even better than I think especially a lot of other fan bases give the Sharks credit for.
That's the biggest thing, because I think a lot of these guys are still so young, developing, trying to get into the Sharks lineup that people are kind of not even paying attention to them. Some Sharks fans might not even notice how many points these guys are putting up. This is where it kind of leads into, Josh, when looking at this team. We know the forwards, they're stacked. They have so many guys. Martone or Misa is going to join this group as well, unless Schaefer drops the 2. But this is an active season where I do think we're going to see Mike Grier go out and pick up maybe a top right-handed defenseman to play with maybe Dickinson as early as next season, Josh. This defensive group is very underrated. I'm not going to say the best in the league, because I mean, currently what you have right now is not the best, but this is the making of a very strong defensive core, and it starts with two of those guys.
It's growing, right? And that's all you can do. You can pick the right players when they come to you. You can make the trades when they come to you. And I have full faith that Mike Grier is going to manage to make another move, whether it's a draft pick. You never know, like second round picks, like we're going to talk about in a second, can turn into pretty good players or whatever. But like we also got other young forwards coming up, like Chernyshov had a great year. So exciting. But leave your thoughts on Dickinson's performance down below, as we got to get into the other guy, though. Kasper Halttunen. Now, 41 points in 38 games in his D+1 is, or D+2, I should say, is like, it's good, right? Like that's a good season for Kasper Halttunen. And he's big, right? The big thing with him is he's a big guy. Second round pick, 36th overall. Not many players below him have had like any NHL time. So you just kind of hope these guys can eventually, like in a best case scenario, work out to be a solid NHLer. And again, like his draft year there, coming over, getting drafted sort of out of the Liga, 61 points in 57 games, and playing 6 games with the Barracuda, getting 4 points was really cool to see this year. But 41 points in 38 games regular season, fine. But Mark, it's the playoffs. 15 goals in 17 games, 21 points. The goal scoring from Halttunen was absurd, including this absolute snipe right here off the rebound. I say absolute snipe. I mean, let's be honest, whatever. It was kind of a gaping net, but it's more fun to say it's a snipe. Kasper Halttunen kind of shocked everyone. Like, let's be honest. I did not expect this kind of performance from him, but maybe I should have after last year's playoff run where he had 17 goals in 18 games. What we're learning about Kasper Halttunen is that when the stakes are the highest, he shows up the most. He's a big player. He makes his impact all over the ice, but especially the goal scoring. He had 8 goals in 8 periods en route to helping London win. Mark, what are your thoughts on Halttunen? I mean, look, I know those playoffs last year had us kind of being like, okay, there's something here, but to see him do it again this year after a subpar, which is hard to say when you're point per game, but it's the OHL season, is just unbelievable. I'm really excited for him.
Like you said, he's been finishing all over the ice. This is a guy that can go out and make an impact in the playoffs. A lot of these younger guys coming through in the playoffs, they kind of not hide, but kind of shy away from big moments. But this is the complete opposite. We've seen a bit of experience in the AHL going down to the OHL, absolutely dominating with Dickinson on the London Knights. This kind of goes back to what I was just saying, where there's so many Sharks prospects, you kind of lose track on who is actually overperforming what you're expecting. And this is the prime example. Halttunen's going to be a guy that probably gets back into the AHL next year, works his way up, a big body that can produce at this level. Yes, there's a lot of guys, the juniors that do it, but at this level into the playoffs and a bit into the AHL as well, this is something to watch out for. And I would not be shocked if in 2 years' time we see Halttunen maybe in the middle 6 or bottom 6 as a checker for the San Jose Sharks team.
Yeah, like maybe I undersold last season's performance. I mean, maybe it wasn't underwhelming. It was more that like one of these guys that kind of flies under the radar. Because like, you know, when you look at top end prospects, like you want to see him score like a ton of points. But like honestly, again, for his size, the fact that he can use his size decently effectively as well is a big thing. And again, when we're seeing the playoff intensity rise, right, the physicality rises, that's something that Halttunen clearly thrives at. And that's one of those aspects of players. Like you see some players dip away, shy away in the playoffs. You see some players step up. Some players don't really change much. Those are all good things, but Halttunen is one of these guys that can step up, use his size, be more effective. And like you said, Mark, I mean, I have to imagine it'll be the Barracuda next year. Wouldn't shock me if he got some time with San Jose, the big club, and the Sharks. Like, there's a world where that can happen. But regardless, I'm excited to see the development. Again, Podorowski, his future is, certainly in question, but there's some good talent down with the Barracuda, hoping they can bolster the roster this offseason as well. And I'm really excited to see what Halttunen can do. But we got to hear from you guys. Halttunen, Dickinson, what an unbelievable day watching these Sharks prospects dominate the OHL. Next season is going to be huge. We're going to see some playing with the Sharks, some with the CUDA, some still in leagues all over the world, and it's a very exciting time. But listen, that'll do it for this episode of Sharks Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.